This is the RV Game Changer. In this podcast, we will speak with manufacturing leaders, component suppliers, dealers, subsector innovators, influencers, and industry experts who all believe RVing is good for our environment, it's good for our economy, it's great for our family values and overall well-being. With your help, we can improve the RV experience for everyone.
Looking for a side hustle and extra income? With RV Realtor, it's easy. Help people buy and sell RVs on your time and start earning right away. Call me today, Daryl Jensen, at 520-230-3123 and get started.
RV Realtor. Turn your passion into mailbox money today.
Ex-gens and baby boomers, pay attention. Tony Provost is a licensed expert with incredible insight on how to best plan for your retirement. Many of us dream of having RV adventures later in life, but we waited a bit too long to plan for this dream. What if there was a way to accelerate our plans by using little-known money management techniques which grow your savings and remove the often devastating downside of the market? This is where Tony Provost comes in. Tony has the knowledge and a lifetime of experience on how to use his unique no-risk strategies, which removes all the guesswork and downside from what we get from traditional methods of investing. Reach out to Tony and find out what the richest people in the world are doing with their money. You can do it too. Today's episode of RV Game Changer is brought to you by RVing Today TV. If it has anything to do with RVing and camping, you can bet you'll see it on RVing Today TV. Celebrating its 14th year, RVing Today TV is the #1 weekly RV and camping lifestyle show in the country. Available on major television stations and sports networks nationwide, as well as various streaming media platforms. Visit RVingToday.tv, where you'll find the list of stations and networks carrying the show, along with additional stories, news, and contests. If you are just starting to think about retirement or on the very cusp of retirement, this podcast show is a must listen, and you should be taking notes. Day after day, so many people that I meet as an RV salesman have an amazing dream to travel the country in an RV. But before we get too deep into the subject, we at RV Game Changer ask, if you like what you hear today and you find this information beneficial, please like, subscribe, and share on all your social media platforms. Any comments, good or bad, are welcome to us and help us do a better job to serve you, the RV community. So let's talk more about retirement and my good buddy, Bob Jacinto. He is an insurance expert who has all the answers. Bob will lay out the 3 most important money concepts for RVers to have financial independence later in life. The best part about it is, you don't have to be independently wealthy to come up with a plan that will work. He has helped me, and he probably can help you too. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to Bob Jacinto. Hey, Bob, welcome to RV Game Changer.
Morning, Bernie. How are you?
I'm doing good. That's right. It is just a little bit past morning where you are. Where are you, by the way?
I'm in north of Houston, Texas, in a beautiful place called The Woodlands.
The Woodlands, yeah. Sounds wonderful. And I know we've spoken a few times before, and you have great weather down there. It's still probably pretty warm, isn't it?
We're getting fall-ish, but we're still, we got a few days still that we're touching 90. And here it is, Halloween.
Wow, touching 90. So I woke up this morning and I was confident. I said, I'm going to go out with some shorts on. It's not that cold, right? Yeah, it was like 37 degrees outside.
Yeah, but you're used to it. 37.
Yeah, that woke me up fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an important episode for folks working on a plan to travel later in their years. You've worked in all kinds of different industries. So tell us what got you so interested in helping people with insurance policies help plan for their retirement.
So, Bernie, when I was a Chevrolet dealer, and then later on when I was running some RV stores, there were ways I could have used life insurance to set up my business better, protect my family better, and
Right.
Ways to accumulate that I never knew about. That's really, when I learned about this, I said, holy moly, with this, I wish I would have known this 30 years ago. So that got me excited about sharing the information and helping other folks.
Well, that's pretty much where I'm at too. I should have probably heard about this about 30 years ago, and I wish I would have, but because it's some very exciting principles that go on here. And it's about helping people, right? It's about helping people live their passions, maybe be an avid traveler, be a good parent, or even a wonderful grandparent. Can you give us an example of some of the people that you might have helped over the years?
Sure, sure. Once you're at a stage where, hey, I think we're going to realign our life, maybe downsize, get an RV, travel. A lot of that travel is to go see grandchildren. And,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
And that's what got me interested. And I've helped a lot of grandparents come up with plans where they can give their grandchildren a tax-free fund where when they hit college age, they can go to college, they can buy a car, they can start a business. They don't necessarily have to go to college. So it gave them great flexibility and develop really good savings discipline. So grandparents, I just helped a family of 4. They're in their late 30s with young children, had never done anything. They make a lot of money, but they're spending a lot of money. And they had no idea that life insurance could be the tool they're looking for and create a discipline for them so they could save for their retirement. And also small businesses. I've helped a couple of small businesses really create programs where they have money to expand their business, capital improvements, and they basically have set up their own bank. So that's what's exciting about this business, Bernie, is just there's so many variations, and we can help people in so many different ways.
Well, boy, you brought up a good point, though, about saving for your grandchildren's education, but it may not have to be for the education, right? There's so you can save it for other reasons or multiple of reasons.
Well, the most frequently used education plan is called a 529. And then a
529, yep.
529 is specifically dog-eared, earmarked for college education. So what happens is if you don't use it for college education, you actually get all your principal back, but you lose your interest. So you have no flexibility whatsoever. And today, we have a severe shortage of people in highly skilled trades, electricians, HVAC people. And those are great, great, great jobs. And so, somebody might want to do that. Or if we're talking about today's generation, computer coding. There's kids can make 6-figure jobs learning to be great coders, and it doesn't require oftentimes a college degree. 529 won't pay for that. Using the funds built up in an IUL would give your kids that opportunity.
Wow, that's amazing. So it kind of has that flexibility built into that. So, people may be thinking, is this going to get complicated? Is it going to take too much of a bite out of my quality of life? And will it change the quality of life, Bob?
Not at all. Our whole strategy is to more effectively allocate the funds that you're already allocating. For example, we talk to folks, say, hey, do you currently have a life insurance policy? Do you currently have a disability policy? Do you currently have a 401k? Are you putting money in savings? And we identify different expenditures that maybe aren't performing at the level they really could perform. And this is about showing them, hey, you can take those 5-6 different expenses, reallocate them all at once into a single strategy, utilizing a customized solution built on life insurance, and you could get a lot more value and a lot more security for your future. So it's our philosophy is not to create another expense. In fact, maybe we can do that and even cut your expense.
That's fantastic. So you're saying that you can remove maybe a term life policy that you're paying on that actually has no cash value, maybe a disability policy, and then other savings that you maybe like you say, earmarking towards a 401k or a 503b or whatever it may be, right? So you can take all those funds and utilize it. And how does this universal life policy help people with things like disability?
Okay. Well, traditional life insurance is death benefit only.
Right.
What we're talking about is insurance that has full living benefits, and living benefits, without getting too geeky insurance talk, are they're what are called accelerated benefits riders. And the meaning is right in the name. They're accelerated benefits. So if I have a death benefit policy for $1 million and I have an extremely serious illness, a stroke, and I can no longer work, I'm making $150,000 a year. Suddenly my income, my family loses $150,000 a year. This policy will accelerate my death benefit to today and pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars. If I had $1 million policy, it could pay me $800,000 today, tax-free, to use any way I wish to help my family.
Wow, that's phenomenal. And it's probably at a fraction of the cost, I would imagine, because you're putting a few different concepts together with those living benefits, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the other thing to think about is your eligibility, Bernie. A healthy person can be underwritten in a week.
Right.
And let's say that I purchase a policy on November 1. And in January 1, I suffer a very serious heart attack. I've only paid 2 premium payments, but my heart attack, if qualifying, could still pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars tax-free today after only paying 2 premiums.
Wow. So that's great for those catastrophic occurrences, right? That happen in your life, things that you don't expect, you tell us a little bit maybe about your own experience about things that can happen, right? Things can happen.
Great. Thank you, Bernie. I mean, and this is probably the primary driver. I gave you 2 reasons why I like the business. I got it. But the primary, what moved me personally was my own family's medical challenges. So as I told you, I had a Chevrolet dealership, and my idea was buy a small store, build it up, make a little bit of money, buy another store, build it up, make a little money, sell it, buy another. So I had gone through phase 1. I bought a small Chevy store. I sold it, and I tell you exactly. I sold it November 1st of 2002, and 21 days later, my wife had a very serious stroke. Oh, subsequently, 7 years later, she had another stroke that required an emergency craniotomy. It was 80% fatal. Thank God, she's recovered about 90%. She's doing great. But along the way, although we had the wherewithal to buy and sell a car dealership,
right,
we almost went broke twice. We almost lost our home twice.
Oh, my goodness! And there she is. She's a beautiful woman.
Yep.
And God bless her for healing.
That's my wife. Yeah, that's my wife, Laura. We both had $1 million term policies at the time. We both had them, but they were traditional policies with death benefit only. And in my wife's case, she had a policy with full living benefits. Her stroke was serious enough that she would have received over $800,000 tax-free in one lump sum, and I could have stayed as her primary caregiver for 5 years. And who knows what her recovery would have been like. I could have stayed with her for 5 years instead of having to leave her bedside and go back to work in 2 weeks and leave her there in neuro ICU unconscious. And
oh my goodness.
So what happens to regular folks? They get annihilated.
Right.
They get annihilated. And if it happened to us, that's what hit me. If it happened to us and we were in pretty good financial shape, what happens to everybody else?
But it still had dramatic limitations on what you were trying to do to help your wife, right? It's like you said, you wish you could have just been able to stay by her bedside and help her recovery to expedite it and, be there for her emotionally and physically and all those things. So you could have helped make it better quicker. And boy, I'll tell you, it's amazing how far she's come along in just the look of these lovely pictures of you and your family and your grandchildren and all that. It's just amazing. I'm so happy for you guys that it's come back full circle for you guys. But boy, that's a long, hard road that you don't want to wish on anybody.
Sure. And at the time when I wanted to focus all my attention and energy and prayer around her recovery, I had to worry about paying bills.
Right.
So that's not, at the time you want to be with your loved one, you're worrying about money. So this is a way to remove that pressure off people.
Yeah, and you thought you had all the coverage you needed, right? And
I had $1
actually,
million.
and it didn't cover anything.
Yep.
Didn't cover anything. All right, so this is not just about benefiting the quality of the couple's life. There's more to it than that, There's your children, there's your grandchildren, there's other people in your life. It may be a business partner. Like, how do these insurance policies help these other people in your life?
Well, here's a good example on the last topic, the business partner. So
Yeah.
say I had my car dealership and you and I were 50-50 partners in it. And the
Yep.
car dealership is worth $20 million. If I pass away, you need to buy out my half.
Right.
Where are you suddenly going to come up with 10 million bucks? And if you don't have that 10 million bucks, then my share of the business is going to go to probate and get stuck in court. And it's going to hamstring the business. So you're going to be hamstrung. My family isn't going to be able to get their money if they wanted to, if the idea was to sell to you and then get the money back. But life insurance, using what's called cross collateralization, you would buy a life insurance for whatever amount is needed on me. I would buy a life insurance on you. We'd run it through the business, and then those would be the funds to do the buy sell, and it would save the business. It would save the estate for my family. If it was me who died. I had no idea how to do this kind of stuff. No idea.
Right. So it sounds like it helps the other business owner, the partner that is the survivor, keep that business afloat while also helping the spouse of that partner, because perhaps they can use that money to buy that second half of the business from them, so then they can go on to operate that business to the best of their ability.
Another version of that is Bernie is my wife and I.
Right.
I pass away. She's the beneficiary. She has no idea how to run a car dealership. This life insurance policy would give her the cash to hire a general manager.
Wow.
So that the business could continue to operate. And then the family legacy is still intact. She retains full ownership and maybe brings the GM in for a little percentage to, make him or her feel like they're part of the team, but there's no business disruption. That's what, the theme of our main product is called Life Interrupted. As you said, things just happen. We have no control over that. So being prepared so that you hope it's never you, but what if? Now you don't have to worry about it.
So let's get back a little bit to someone who wants to be an RVer, right? They've worked hard. They saved a decent amount of money. They've been good parents. They did all the right things. They have a little bit of a nest egg, and they're trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to get a regular amount of income from this. Social Security is like minuscule these days. What can they do to kind of help put themselves in a situation where they're going to have a good cash flow so they can afford to make a payment on a trailer or a small motorhome or something?
Sure. Let's say this RVer is either 5 years prior to their retirement or 5 years after. That's the most critical period for people to watch their money, is when am I going to need it? And if there's a severe drop in the market and I lose 25% of my retirement savings, I might not have enough money to last me the rest of my life.
Exactly. I mean, like 2008 happens all over again. I mean, a lot of people lost a ton of money and they just bailed out of the market because they just thought it was over. And so that hurt a lot of people. Yeah.
So what folks need to think about, and this is the education piece that I said, we stress is education. If you and I would have known this stuff 30 years ago, we made different decisions. So we're trying to now intercede and say, take a time out, learn some new information. So I've got $400,000, $500,000 in a 401k, and I'm going to get an RV and we're going to travel and then we're going to retire on that money. Well, if that money is still in your 401k it's essentially invested in mutual funds. So you're going to participate if the market goes up, but if 2008 or 2022 comes, you're going to crash. So a lot of folks are saying, well, I still want to have a healthy return, but I want to protect myself from any losses. So
there you go.
There's a guy that's smarter than me. I know this 100%. Besides Bernie, there's a second guy that's smarter than me. And that guy's name is Warren Buffett.
Oh, yeah.
Warren Buffett's advice to every American is monthly comfortable contributions into an index strategy. And that's what we're going to utilize is index strategies where that the policy owner participates in the upside of the market, but they're protected from the downside of the market from a zero floor. When the market goes flat, your money goes like this, and you never, ever, ever lose a penny.
That sounds fascinating and a little bit intimidating. So can you help kind of describe that to us a little bit? Like, how do they maintain a zero floor and also benefit from the upside? How does that all work?
Okay. So
it doesn't have to get too detailed because I know it's probably a lot of algorithms and stuff, but yeah.
Well, you essentially transfer your money from one entity to another. So you're in a tax deferred entity, a 401k. You transfer your money into an IRA, and within that IRA is an investment vehicle. In this case, it's called an indexed annuity.
Okay.
And it's that index, and people are familiar with annuities. The purpose of an annuity is to provide a lifetime payout. Okay.
Right.
So you put it into the money goes into an annuity, and that annuity is the vehicle that has a zero floor. Your money's not put into the market. The insurance company who's excellent at managing money uses a certain index and tags your interest to that index, and you participate. When it goes up, you make money, and when it goes down, it's funded correctly, and the life insurance company knows how to structure this. Like you said, there's lots of algorithms. So that's how they can protect you. They're so good at making money. And if you're in it for a longer period of time, it spreads out the risk. So the insurance company is able to protect you. And it's by contract. It's not FDIC insured. It's by legal contract. The insurance company is guaranteeing that you will never lose money. And insurance companies are the foundation of our financial system.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, because the more I learn about insurance companies, there's a lot of banks that actually invest in these policies to help protect their assets as well.
Mm-hmm. So BOLI is the acronym, BOLI, bank-owned life insurance. And we'll take Bank of America, for example. And Bank of America has, I think it's $23 billion in a life insurance. They do what we were just talking about. They take out life insurance policies on all their executives and the highest ranking people. And the owner of the life insurance is Bank of America. So now Bank of America can borrow from those life insurance policies and lend it to you and me to buy a house, and just continue to put the money through the funnel. And they've done that for hundreds of years. Life insurance has been around. The concept of life insurance goes back to Rome. I mean, the concept's been around forever. And there are some tremendous companies that are 100, 200 years old here in the U.S. that have never missed a payment. There's some solid places where you can depend on. They're going to be there for you.
That's phenomenal. So these techniques have been used by the biggest banks and the richest people in the world, but people like you and I can do it too, right?
That's exactly right. It's just that, people have always thought that money strategies are for big money people, but folks can get started. For the average American saves about $500. I mean, if say they're about 40 years old, the average American saves about $500 a month.
Okay.
Well, if you put that into an index strategy, if you're 40 years old and you're putting in $500 to $800 a month in one of these strategies, conservatively, really, really conservatively, that $500, you possibly could be, without even looking over your shoulder, not looking at it again, you could possibly have already set yourself up to be a millionaire when you retire.
Wow. And so, and whatever they have saved in 401k, they can leave that there and that can grow too, but that is protected money. So you don't run the risk of turning 65 or turning 70 and having 40 or 60% of your total nest egg wiped away in a weekend, right?
Wiped away in a weekend. And also, if it's in an indexed strategy, let's say if it's in an insurance instead of an annuity, those distributions are 100% tax free.
Right.
So because we know what we're also looking at, and sometimes it's you roll the dice, and that's how it is. If we ask 1,000 people, raise your hand, who thinks taxes are going to go up in the future? How many hands are going to go up? So here we are headed toward our retirement age. So we're retired, but we have a few more medical issues. So our medical expenses have gone up, and we're taking disbursements in an unknown tax environment. We have no idea what taxes are going to be. So one of those strategies, that can be utilized is pay the taxes today while you're working. You're looking at retiring in 5 to 10 years. Pay the taxes now, put it into a strategy, and protect yourself from a big tax bill later. But that's just, one of the many techniques that can be used. Every situation is unique. And, that's the fun of this business, is that they're unique, and we solve unique problems for people, whatever they need.
Well, thanks a lot, Bob. We did promise people at the beginning of this show that we're going to have 3 of the most important strategies for people our age to gain financial independence in the lifestyle they want and deserve. So do you have 3 specific strategies that people can do that they can say, hey, look, or whether you're an ex-gen, you're in your 40s, or you're in your 50s, or you're like me in my 60s, or like you in your 80s. No, just kidding.
Thank you very much. I resemble that remark.
No. You're a young man. So tell us what these 3 strategies are.
The first one is, it's never too late. You're never too young. You're never too old. Because of the flexibility and the creativity, something can be created for you. If somebody tries to sell you something out of a box and they don't listen very, very closely to what you need, that's not it. So number one, it's never too late. You can always do something. And then the next one is, people have 2 worries in life as you get older. One is, what happens if I get sick? And the other one is, am I going to run out of money?
Yeah, what if I don't get sick?
What I don't get, I'm going to run out of money. So, addressing your financial needs ahead of time and putting together a solid plan is the second piece of advice. Don't leave it to chance. Actually sit down with somebody and create something just for you. And the last part is, you got to be consistent. Get a plan you're comfortable with and make it a priority. Exercise some discipline. If you're looking for that retirement and going on the road in your RV, get those numbers clearly in mind and know, okay, I need to accumulate this much over a period of years to live that lifestyle, and make that priority. Okay, I can do without a couple of Starbucks. I can do out with a couple of trips to Outback. If that's going to get me a lifetime seeing every national park in the country, or I'm still working, take your laptop to every national park in the country and work from your RV. That's a lifestyle.
It's actually a great lifestyle, and it allows you to have that extra bit of creativity because your brain is getting all this wonderful input. I'm sure you'd do a much better job at it. Folks, it all adds up to getting the right kind of people to help you in these situations. Don't take it all upon yourself to try to figure all this stuff out. And, you should be with someone who's licensed, someone who has the skill and the empathy to be willing to listen to your situation and help you navigate through it. So, Bob, tell us a little bit about how to get a hold of you, because, boy, I'll tell you, I can see already you've already changed my life substantially. So tell us a little bit how to get a hold of you, buddy.
Getting hold of me is pretty easy, either, via email, which, I guess Bernie could provide, but it's
Bernie, Ernie.
bob.jacinto at legacytaxfree.com. Pretty easy. Or just call me directly. I always have my phone with me. I love visiting with people. It's 412-728-8281. I spent 9 years living in Pittsburgh to be near doctors when my wife was there, and learned to love Pittsburgh. And, I'm still a 49er fan for life, but number 2 is now the Steelers.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Hey, tell us a little bit about, you sent me some pictures here. I should probably get that. Do I have a 49er picture? I don't, but who are these lovely folks here with you?
So that's my 2 granddaughters next to me, next to my head. That's the older. That's Khaleesi and her sister Cassidy. And
Oh,
those
wow.
two are the ones that I bought the 2 IULs for. When they're 19 years old, they'll each have between $60,000 and $100,000, and their mom can help them with what would you want to do with your life next. We've got some money for you. So those kids are going to have
Wow.
choices when they get to that age.
So they can either use it for school, they could use it from some other sort of training. Maybe they're getting married. I don't want to rush them at all, but but this would help them, be a nice booster for them, and to help to get their life off to a wonderful start. Now, who are these folks over here?
So those are folks actually from a convention with my company, Premier Financial Alliance, and we gather up probably 3 times a year to get all the brains together, because our business is all about growing collaboration and leveraging each other's knowledge. So on the left is me, that's Houston. The next to me is Phoenix, and then Hawaii, then 2 Hawaiis. So we're across the country.
Wow. So I noticed that too. Yeah, sometimes you're communicating with people in Hawaii. Are these other people from the PFA as well?
Yeah, this is a group meeting I held here in Houston, and you can see the 2 ladies in the vertical blue and white stripes. That was during the World Cup, and they're big. That's Messi's jersey there. But these are folks. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got a New Hampshire. Second from the left is New Hampshire. Then Dan is Hawaii. Tony is from Mass, and another Phoenix. Then me, and then Renee is in Washington State. So again, we come together to leverage our knowledge and fly around the country. So it's really a fun business.
Hey, what if someone was listening in on here and said, hey, I like where he's coming from. I like what he does. And I'm wondering if that's something that would be beneficial for me. So what can you say to folks about who might be looking either for a side hustle or maybe a career change or something like that, that really is about helping people?
Yeah. Well, most people, Bernie, are looking at jobs because there's a gap in their life. The gap is I don't make enough money. The gap is I don't get recognized at work. The gap is I don't spend enough time with my children. And people, that's what today, people want control. So joining our organization, 90% of folks are with us are part-time. And what they're looking for is, I want to do something meaningful. And I want to be able to control my time. I want to help other people. And I want to be able to, make some money and control that. So, whether it's $3,000 to $5,000 a month on a part-time basis, or you want to build an empire, and be king of the world like Bernie, this is available to you. And we support everybody, because everybody has their own personal journey, and it's exciting to have a tool where people can create that journey any way they want.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to be king of the world or not, Bob, but I have to say, with your help, I'll be at least a part of the way there. So thank you so much for joining us today on RV Game Changer. And folks, if you're looking to reach out to Bob, I just been posting his email and his phone number one more time over here. Let me just find that for you. Yeah, bob.jacinto at Legacy Tax Free, and 412-728-8281. Bob, it's an absolute pleasure spending time with you today. And thank you so much for all you've done for me and my wife, May.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure. It brings value to my life. I help other people. And, working with you has made me sharper.
I keep you on your toes, right, buddy?
You sure do, man.
Have a great day and God bless.
Okay, take care, Bernie.
RV dealers, are you losing deals because your customers are upside down in their trades? RV Realtor has the solution. They specialize in helping dealers like you close more deals by offering a way out for customers who owe too much on their current RV. RV Realtor will help turn those impossible trades into possibilities, giving your customers the chance to get into the new RV they really want. Don't let a trade-in hold you back. Partner with RV Realtor and watch your sales soar. Call RV Realtor today and close more deals. And if you want to find the latest episode of RV Game Changer, make sure you go to rvtoday.tv, where you find our latest episode along with a lot of great information, tips and tricks, and videos of RVing Today TV. If you want to get a hold of me, go to RV Game Changer on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And make sure to subscribe. Have a wonderful week and God bless.